Welcome back to the Hamilton Public Library. This is Linda, and today we will be making a macrame leaf wall hanging. You may remember the video where we made the macrame leaves. So today we'll be making three different colors. I have a wooden dowel here to attach them to. So we're making a dark green leaf, a white leaf, and a sage green. I also have a bead that you can use. This is optional. And each leaf needs smaller pieces of macrame cording to create the leaf shape and a template. Also, you'll need a comb and a pair of scissors to cut the leaves into their shape. I have a crochet hook here, and I'm going to use it to help thread the bead onto the macrame cording. So I have the sage green here. I'm going to poke the crochet hook through the bead and pull the thread through. Now I'll have the measurements of the three long cords in the description below. So once I have the bead threaded through, I'm going to attach it to the dowel using a lark's head knot. So you can see here I've done it backwards, so it doesn't match the other two, so I'm going to redo it. And once that's done, we can get started on attaching the smaller cords. Now for each macrame leaf, you are going to need 20 pieces of macrame cording cut into 8 inches each. And here I'm adjusting the beads because I want the leaves to fall in different lengths along the cording so that they're not all sitting in a row once your wall hanging is done. So they're slightly staggered. So now we're going to attach the smaller pieces to the longer cords. And here I'm just straightening the cord so that it sits nicely once the project is done. So for each knot, you're going to need 2 of the small pieces of cording folded in half. One will go underneath the cords and the other will go on top. And then you will take the ends and thread them through the loops of each on each side. So you can see here I'm threading them through, and then you're going to pull the ends tight to form the knot. So I'm using the beads as a guide as to where I want to start the leaf. So here I have my first knot, and all the others will go underneath. You want the knot to be snug but not too tight, and you want your cords to remain flat and straight. So now we're going to do the next one, and again we're going to go underneath with the first one and on top with the second, and you want to make sure you follow this pattern all the way through so that your knots will look all the same along the center of the leaf. Now it is helpful to tie or to tape down your project. So I am going to tape the dowel down and the cords. It just doesn't move as much once it's taped down, and it makes it easier to complete your project. So you're just going to tape down the 2 cords that don't move throughout the project and the dowel, and this will make it much easier. So now we're going to continue on with the rest of our cords. And in case you're not sure where to get dowels, you can get them at any hardware store, or you can get them really inexpensively at the dollar store. You get 6 for $1.25. And the cording I have here, I have the regular the basic color that it comes in, which is the white beigey kind of color, but I also have a dark forest green and a sage green. You can use any colors you want. You can make them all the same color. You can make them all the white color. It's totally up to you. And you can also make as many leaves as you want. You know, you could fill up that dowel with all the leaves you want to make right across and have them staggered all the way through, and it makes a nice full macrame wall hanging as well. You can also cut the leaves in the shape of a feather instead, so cut them longer and have feathers instead of leaves. So the possibilities are endless, and many of the patterns I have learned, the macrame patterns I have learned, are from library books. So I just check out books on patterns, and then you can learn all these different patterns and create a wall hanging, or create, we've done bookmarks, videos on bookmarks, keychains, and so on. So I encourage you to check out some of our macrame books at the library. So you can see here I'm almost done the dark green. So once we're finished the dark green, we're going to move on to the two other colors, and we'll speed up that part of the video so that we can get to the part where we are going to cut our macrame into a leaf shape. Okay, and we'll see you back here soon. So you can see here we have the leaf done, and I've unraveled all the cords except for two. So I'm going to show you how to do this. We're just going to twist it the opposite way. It's a 4-strand cord, so we want all 4 strands separated. This is an important part of the project. You don't want to leave the cords the way they are. It won't have a nice fluffy effect to it. So once they are unraveled, we're going to comb out the leaf to make sure all the strands are going in the same direction, and it gives it kind of a fluffy appearance. I'm just using a regular comb. You can also use a pet brush. That gives it a really nice fluffy, extra fluffy look. So while I'm combing out the strands, you want to hold the middle of your leaf where the knots are, otherwise the knots will come undone. So gently just comb it out while holding the middle. And all of these cords include the 2 cords that were taped down at the beginning of the project. You can see them there. They're at the point. They're quite long. So we want to incorporate that into our leaf so that there's no empty spaces. So we're just going to comb the whole thing out, and then we're going to comb down towards the bottom of the leaf. So you can see here that it's kind of taking shape. So we're going to continue combing down. And then we're going to take our leaf template and mark where we would like to cut out the leaf with a Sharpie marker. Now I do this differently in the leaf video. I'm just doing it freehand, which I find a little difficult. So I thought maybe I'll show you how to do it where you've traced out the pattern. So here I'm just doing little dots with a Sharpie marker, and you want to cut along those dots. Cut the dots off so that they're not remaining. But you can see the leaf pattern there. And I'm just going to take a pair of very sharp scissors, and we're going to cut through. So for now, just follow the pattern that you've marked through, and then we can always go back and fix anything, adjust things. You're going to comb it out again to catch any pieces that were not cut through. So now we're going to do the other side. You can see the leaf shape taking shape. And I just find this much easier than doing it freehand. It's hard sometimes to determine how much to cut off, so this is quite helpful. So now I'm going to comb through again to make sure that it looks nice and even, and we're just going to cut off any pieces that you know, are hanging on the edge of the pattern. As you can see here, I have a few that I'll need to just trim up. And then once I have my leaf shape, I'm going to attach it to the dowel again, and then you have to spray them with something. And in my case, I've used an unscented hairspray to spray them, or you could use starch or some kind of stiffening medium. Because over time your leaf will droop and kind of collapse into itself, so you need something to keep those strands the way they are. So spray it generously and then just let it dry overnight or for a few hours, and then you'll have your wall hanging. So you can see here it's made a pretty nice little leaf. I'm just going to trim up the edges a bit, clean it up a little bit, and there you have your leaf. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like all together on the dowel. So here you can see that all 3 leaves are done and attached to the dowel, and my wall hanging is ready to be displayed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll catch our other videos on Hamilton Public Library's YouTube channel. Thank you.